next one is 1.1.3. 1.1.3 here, it is an inequalities question. See, it's an inequalities question. It's like 1.1.3. So in a situation like this one, right? It's what, 15, let me just copy it. 15x minus 4, and then you have what you have over there. Correct. So,
Yes.
so here, we can do this. We can do whatever we need to do here. So 15x minus 4 smaller than 9x squared. So this is an inequality question. Now, what you need, this is how you go about these inequality questions. What you want to recognize is that this is just a graph. This is just a function. So that's the first protocol. To realize, okay, you're dealing with a function. The one other thing is you want to explicitly then see what this equation of this function looks like. Now,
Okay.
for you to properly see what this equation of this function will look like, you're going to put everything on one side. You see, you're going to put everything on one side. So when I say you're going to put everything on one side, I mean you're going to have 0 here, bigger than 9x squared minus 15x plus. So what you want to keep in mind is now you're seeing that this is just a parabola. Do you see that this is just an equation of a parabola? This one.
Sorry.
Pardon?
What did you say?
I'm saying, do you see that this is an equation of a parabola?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yes. So remember, what we see here, if it was a function, sometimes it can be written as y is equal to 9x squared minus 15x plus 4. This is what this function can be written as. So what we do also know is that when you're seeing something like this, what you should be reading is where are the y values bigger than 0?
Bigger than 0.
Yeah, because this represents y, does it not?
Yeah, because I get it. It's the parabola formula. It's y is equal to that formula. Yes.
Yes. So what we do want to recognize is that when we see whatever we're seeing here, this is just standing in the place of y. So when we're reading our question is asking us, where are the y values above 0? So for us to easily answer that question, what we do first is we want to see what kind of a picture this graph draws. So we just want to see what kind of a picture it draws. Normally, all that matters is whether it's smiling or whether it's frowning. So is this graph frowning or smiling?
It's smiling.
Yes. So what you do is you draw your shape. It's smiling. Okay. That's the first thing you do. You're going to draw your shape. You see that it's smiling. That's step 1. Step 2, I think when we're done with this question, we'll just write out some steps also, so that you can always go back to them. So here we have drawn our smiling face. You don't have to worry about the y-axis. Just put the x-axis only. So once you've drawn your smiling face, what you need to do next is the following. You want to now solve for x and find out where the graph is equal to 0. The reason why you want to find out where the graph is equal to 0 is if you want to find out where it's above 0, you might as well find out where it's equal to 0 first. You see, because how are you going to know where it's above 0 when you don't know where it's equal to 0? You get it? So you finding out where it's equal to 0, it's more like a point of reference. for you to then answer the question nice. Because remember, this pink line represents the x-axis. So what we know is that the x-axis is over here. Below the x-axis, you have these y values. Above the x-axis, you have these y values. You see.
Yes.
So you know that before you even do any specifics, they ask where are the y values above 0. You see, where are the y values above 0? They are above 0 over here. That's the portion that's above 0. Or let me actually write it like this. This is the portion above 0. You see, this is the portion above 0. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So what you then want to recognize is that that portion that's above 0, the x values that are producing these y values, it's x values going to the right all the way to infinity, and it is x values going to the left all the way to infinity. You see? So these are the x values that they'll be asking for when they will be asking us to solve for x. So they're asking us to solve for x, and they give you this equation. But what you do is you want to see nicely what kind of function it is. So you put everything on one side, you see, preferably the side where the x squared is. Put everything there, and then put everything in standard form, like now. And then we said it's smiling face, so we draw a smiling face. And then we said the question is just asking us where are the y values above 0. So they're above 0 up here, they're above 0 up there. However, for us to be getting these y values above 0 over here, for us to be getting these y values, we would need to be considering the x values going to the left. X values going to the left. And when we would need to consider x values going to the right.
Right.
Yeah. So with that being said, we can now answer our question, because we want to say our answer, it's going to be x value starting from here going to infinity, x value starting from here going to infinity. So for us to find this particular x value and this particular x value, we have to just make this equation equal to 0. You see, we have to solve for x here by just making it equal to 0. So we get the x and the x value. Let's do that. You see, 9x squared minus 15x plus 4 equal to 0. Now, this being done, we can now just use the quadratic formula. Using the quadratic formula, x equal to minus b plus minus b squared 4ac 2a. And then what we know is that b is a negative 15. There we go. What we also know, b squared, negative 15 squared. And then a is a 9, so put a 9 here. And then c is a 4, put a 4 there. A is a 9, put a 9 there. And then, with all this being done, we can now put this in the calculator. What does this give us in the calculator?
I'm still calculating.
Okay.
It gives us 1 comma the negative, the plus. It gives us again 1,3333 recurring. It's like
1,333333. So you're saying this is giving us something that's not a complete value. It's giving us like decimals and stuff.
yes.
What's the fraction? Is there a fraction maybe?
Yes, the fraction. Okay, the negative fraction is 1/3. And then the other one that I just gave you was
The negative 1/3.
no, it was just 1/3. It was no negative.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's better because if you have a fraction, it's easier to work with a fraction than a decimal.
And the other one was 4/3.
4/3.
Yes.
Okay. One first, which is going to be here. Put the bigger one after. It's going to be here. You see it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So now you can answer your question. You see? Now you can easily say the graph is above 0. You see the y values are above 0, where our x values are bigger than 4/3. So you're going to say x is bigger than 4/3, or our x values are below 1/3. X is smaller than 1/3. You see?
Yes.
1/3. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. So now that you have seen how you answer this question, see if we press back a step, right, and we maybe jot down certain things, you can put it this way. Step 1, let me just write here. Step 1, let's just see what we did. Step 1. Step 1, the first thing we did was put everything on one side. You see? Put
Yes.
everything on one side and in standard form. The putting it in standard form part helps with step number 2, because you see step number 2 is identify what kind of a graph you're working with. Identify the shape of your graph, basically. You see, step 2, identify.
Isn't it first identify the what type of function it is, or is it always going to be?
Yeah, most 99.999% of the time it's always going to be a parabola. If it's not a parabola, it will usually be maybe like a straight line graph. If it's a straight line graph, you don't have to do all this. You'll just be able to work it out algebraically by just solving for x with your inequality sign. And then if you were to divide by negative, that's when you flip it over. If you just divide by normal number, you leave it as it is. So here I'm saying identify and sketch. Let's see, identify and sketch the rough image. Oh, I have a knock on the door. Hold on. I'll be with you just now. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Let me just like pause this thing here. Pause.
Okay, it's fine.
So we said here, identify and sketch the rough image.
Can't you say, and I can identify if it's a negative or positive sketch?
We can add more words because that's what the identifying part is trying to say actually. So I think that's a good idea, because you're trying to see whether it's going to be a positive or a negative graph. So determine if sketch is smiling or frowning. Determine if sketch is smiling or frowning. I don't know how to spell frown. Frowning. I hope this is how you spell it. And then once you've identified, determine if sketch is smiling or frowning. So you're going to identify that, right? So you do it here, you draw your sketch, it's smiling. After you draw that, we said the next thing is you wanna get the x-intercept of the graph. Step 3, get x-intercepts of your graph. Perfect. And then step 4 is what? So once you get your x-intercept, right? X-intercept number 1, x-intercept number 2. Obviously, from there now, step number 4 is to...
You put it on the sketch, on the sketch.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, whichever way. Yeah, step number 3, get intersection of your graph, right? And then step number 4, you basically now can answer your question properly, you see. So when I say so step 4, we can maybe write something like, what you may call, let's think of simple words here. We can just say, answer the question, I think we can just actually just put 3 step. Step 4, I think we can find words to put, man. We can just say, okay, y is bigger than 0. We can say answer original question, you know. So answer original question. Yeah, answer original question. It's so almost like a useless step to write down, but we're just gonna say now you can go back and give a proper answer, because this, you'll have all your information now. You can now go back and say why, where is the y value bigger than 0, and then you put on your answers. Cool.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.